We're live there. We're going to do the intro. Start streaming now. The man behind the hustle and grind. This is pride, courage, determination, and perseverance. Welcome to No Looks Given. And we are live. Welcome to the No Looks Given podcast. Myself, Danny Keith. Got my co-host, Brother Luck, over there.
What's going on? What's happening?
Let me go and flip the Brother Luck so y'all can see him over there. Yeah, we got the camera set up for y'all. Oh, let me show you what they see. I got you, Chef.
Yeah, you got to give me the view.
I got you, bro. Give me one second.
Give me the view of what the viewers are seeing.
All right. So
my goodness.
You can kind of see it right there.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me get you a better view because
That's what I'm talking about.
that thing stopped moving in the middle. At any rate, we are live on the podcast, No Looks Given podcast, and we also got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, Chris? Welcome back.
What's up, y'all?
Our viewers know of you.
So I think it's important. Let's just kind of reinforce it. So we have Chris Madison with us. Chris has been with us for the last 45 days.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Chris has been with us cooking in Lucky Dumpling and 4. He's been working front of the house. He's been serving, but he's actually a soldier in the U.S. Army with 10th Group Special Forces. He is a 92 Gulf or a culinary specialist in the Army, working at the La Rochelle DFAC or dining facility. And he's part of the Bridge the Gap program, which is exciting.
Very, very exciting.
All right. Look at that. We got some feedback. Hold on.
So really important for him to be able to kind of share his story because this is probably going to be the last time we get him for a while because...
Oh, no, I'll be back. That's for sure. I'm coming back. Don't worry. Y'all going to see me again.
Yeah. But, you know, it's exciting because he's been with us for, I don't know, the last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been talking about food. We've been talking about business.
Yep.
We've been talking about entrepreneurship. We've been talking about his career in the military.
Yeah.
And how to really apply that as a civilian for the restaurant industry. So I'd love to hear kind of what's been your thoughts, your feedback. You know, what have you learned?
Man, it has been a crazy journey. Just from everything, from the business side of the civilian world of owning a restaurant, it's been amazing. From cooking, desserts, I know how to cook basically every dessert at 4 now. So like,
is that the new menu or the old menu?
The new menu.
We just changed it again.
You guys changed it again?
Yeah, this is the spring menu now. So that was probably about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I mean, as long as you have the creme brulee and stuff and the donuts, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I got that.
Menu. That's the new menu.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I know how to make everything at 4 when it comes to the desserts. And so I'm just basically here, getting my menu ready. Tomorrow I'm gonna be cooking a menu for my higher ups. It's gonna be Jamaican oxtails, some Cajun snapper, you know what I'm saying, some citrus rice pilaf, and key lime pie.
All right, talk about the inspiration of the dish. What you got going on?
So I wanted to take it back. So me and brother sat down a while back, and he told me his influence on opening, like one of his influences on opening his restaurants, and he told me it was his legacy. He wanted to show people where he was coming from and how he grew up, and all of that involves in the food that's in his restaurant, his menus. So I wanted to take it back to Florida. You know, I wanted to take it back home to Florida. I wanted to represent for Florida, for the Jamaicans and stuff. So that's why I'm making Jamaican oxtails. Hopefully I got it right, Mama. I love you. Hopefully I got the recipe right.
All right. So
yeah.
let me go ahead and ask you a couple questions because you've been with Brother for a while. You've been in the program. Give me some of the key takeaways that maybe that you've taken away, and I got to get better at flipping this camera. I apologize, y'all. I'm over here messing up. Because I got some feedback from YouTube that the audio wasn't plugged in. So I plugged it in. I apologize. I hope. Yeah, okay. Loud and clear. We got some feedback. I appreciate you, Double R. And so my question to you was, as I was just checking that audio, is tell me some of the key takeaways that you've gotten, you know, working in this program with Brother Luck. You know, that's different. You know, from where you're coming from. I don't know what it's called, DFAC or what's it called?
Yeah, it's called the DFAC. That's a little Army term.
All right. So tell me some things that you take away from it. You know what I mean? With your time here with Brother.
Some things I've taken away from this program is how real cooking is done. You know, like
tell me what you mean real cooking.
We learn how to cook in the military, but this is top top cooking right here. I don't know exactly the right words to say it, but this is the proper way and the fine way of cooking stuff. I'm learning how to be patient while cooking.
Yeah.
I'm learning the right tools to use while cooking. If I want my meal to be tasteful and I want to give people an experience of where I'm from and stuff, I can put that. I learned that I can put that. You can put that in food.
Yeah, and
I learned all of that.
Tell me, how is that different from what you knew in the past? You know what I mean? What evolution have you pulled from that? What you got?
So it's basically helped me. Not only that, but I sit with brother when he's in some of his meetings and stuff, and it's basically like leadership wise as well. Like I want to take this back when I go back to the DFAC. Being a better leader.
That's big.
Learning that you can't put friends with business. When you're a leader and you're in charge of something, you can't. You have to be a leader. It's either be a leader or be a follower, or just fall back in line with everybody else.
That's big.
So you have to make certain decisions. And I've learned that. I've learned all of that. Trust but verify. Yeah,
I like
trust but verify. It's funny.
Trust
I
but
used
verify.
to say, I believe you. I just don't trust you. That was literally my my thoughts on what I was saying with that. But Tina's the one who said trust but verify.
Yeah.
And that made me go, wow, that's so much classier. So we've been saying that at the restaurant. Trust but verify.
Mm-hmm.
Hey chef, I'm out of asparagus.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still gonna go to the walk-in and I'm still gonna check to see if there's any asparagus just to make sure. I'm going to trust
verify.
you, but I'm going to go verify. I think that goes for everything. It applies to so many different team members all the way through.
No, but I really like that about what you said, Chris, because what you touched on was that obviously you learning, you said how you can make things better in real cooking and things like that. I think you're just talking about like next level cooking. But I think that what I pulled from that and what I appreciate is that you're learning the business side of, being the entrepreneur versus just the culinary perspective.
Yes.
And brother,
definitely.
just so you know, 5 second rule, nobody saw that.
Everybody saw it on Facebook.
Oh, everybody
Man.
all right, Facebook.
I dropped a mango.
Oh, man. Now,
I got
Now
the
what
two
we
main
got
pieces
going
off
on?
of it, but I lost it.
all right, well, let's see what's going on with this thing. I got,
But I think that's the key piece,
Oh yeah.
is leadership is everything. It comes down to being present, listening, communicating, giving clear expectations, holding people accountable, but also holding yourself accountable, which is one of the hardest parts.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, do you have the discipline in yourself to get up and be consistent? And that's the challenge. That's the tough part.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
sorry guys, I'm over here messing with this OBS. For everybody on the video version, audio people don't see this messing up, but on the video side, I just got a error because everything just shut down. So I'm gonna pull that back up. Go ahead, brother. Open this up. Kind of talk about our topic today being inspiration.
Yeah. So I think that's a good piece. Is we're talking about inspiration, and at the end of this program, we asked Madison. We're like, hey, you have to prepare a meal. And it needs to be inspired by you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that inspiration needs to be your story. It needs to be your heritage. It needs to be your journey. But it also needs to be like what you've learned from us,
yeah.
what you've learned from your time being in the restaurants, the team members here in the restaurants. That's such a key piece. So when we talked about inspiration, that's kind of the question that I posed to you. I'd love to hear, what transpired, what went through your mind when you were trying to decide, what am I going to cook now?
So I thought about this I stayed up till 4:00 in the morning thinking about this. What am I going to do? How do I want to be remembered? When making this menu. And I remember just talking to my mom and, just getting some advice from her. And me growing up really, really made me want to cook oxtails. That's like oxtails was a thing for
Was
my
it
childhood.
just like a family thing, like in the family?
It was oxtails was like a every weekend thing. Like even if family didn't come over, I would eat some oxtails. That was just
and just to clarify, so everyone knows, an oxtail is actually the tail, the end of that spine on the back of a cow. So you're getting that beef tail, that bottom going into the tail. So there's a lot of great meat right there, with a lot of irony flavor, a lot of good fat components, but it's extremely tough. So it's got to be cooked for a very long period of time. So whether it's braised on a stovetop, whether it's simmered on a stovetop, or it's braised in the oven for a number of hours, you've got to find a way to break down that tough cut of meat.
I had no clue that it was a cow. I thought oxtail was like an ox. Is that bad?
Well,
you know what's crazy? When I
essentially-
was younger, when I was little, I used to think it was an ox too, until somebody told me.
When was the last time either one of you saw an actual ox?
Shit, when the last time I saw a cow?
Oh man, it's funny because the name is oxtail. You know,
Yeah,
So,
that's, like for real. I just learned that at this moment.
oh man, that's funny.
All right.
So
So you got the
oxtails.
inspiration from the family.
Yeah, inspiration from my mom and just like memories, you know, because like I said, brother sat down and talked with me. He said like, look, this is what I get this from, you know, just growing up like this and seeing this when I grew up, you know, like this is what inspired this. So I took that and I put it into what I wanted to do. I wanted to put out something. I wanted to say, you know, hey, like this is, if you've never been to Florida, I want to at least give you an example of what the food is like, you know?
And I think it's
Something like
important too, which part of Florida, because Florida has different types of cuisines depending on where you're at in the region.
Yeah, it has different types of cuisines. I'm taking it back to NMB. Shout out to NMB, North Miami Beach, you know what I'm saying?
I was just in Miami.
Oh yeah, I remember you told me about that. Oh, was it nice?
Well, I flew into Miami. We went to West Palm Beach. But keep going,
Oh, okay.
man. I want to
Yeah.
hear about the dish because it's interesting because, in my bad, I got the camera on, brother. Because you're going to be preparing this dish for, you know, your higher-ups.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm basically it's gonna be 12 individuals, higher ups. I do not know who, but they're coming to eat, and they know my menu, they know what I'm cooking, and I just want them to taste the food, and I want to give them a chance to see where I come from. Basically, that's the whole meaning of it.
Yeah.
Where I come from and the food that's there, and I want them to be able to taste it in the food. You know,
Yeah.
I want to be able to feel it
Yeah.
while they eat the food.
Storytelling is everything. I think whenever you cook, you should tell a story because that's what connects the memories and triggers the emotions that come with food. So I think it's extremely important to tell the story as they eat. They start
Yeah.
to relate.
Oh yeah.
So what stories are you going to tell?
I'm going to tell stories about my childhood, about family get-togethers, the Cajun snapper. I wanted to make that a little, you know, a little spicy to show, you know, a little Caribbean in it, you know, to show the other Jamaican side. The key lime pie, that is actually Florida's dessert, like main dessert. I don't know, you know, if everybody knew about that, but
And I think we got to tell a good story because we had the plumber here hooking up a sink today.
yeah.
And, he was able to get the
That's
sink
the last
installed
time I'm
faster
doing
than
that.
it was for you to make the pie. And he was giving you a
Yeah,
hard
so
time about that.
okay, so I had a little, you know what, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out. Had a little hard time making a key lime pie, you know. It took me what, about 10, 11 hours.
No, it didn't.
Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, but
It should take 30 minutes.
yeah, it should took 30 minutes, but it took a minute, you know, mise en place. See, that's one thing I was telling you that I'm learning, mise en place.
Yeah,
That's
I know
another
about
thing.
that.
Getting together before you start.
Put everything in its place, yeah. And but it turned out well. It turned out amazing. I had a little mess ups, had to run to the grocery store. But it turned out very well with the help of brother. Like I said, I'm every day, bro. I remember brother telling me like you should take something and learn something every day. And like that's what I'm doing basically.
No, that's big. That's
Yeah.
really big. Go ahead, brother. What you got?
So I think it's important because, you know, you're learning new dishes, right? And that's one of the things I thought was really cool was like, hey, we're going to give you we're going to give you the ideas. You tell us the inspiration, and now we'll start to refine it. So I think as we've kind of gone through the refinement process of like, here's a book on Florida cuisine. Here's traditional dishes or traditional ingredients that you would see in that area. That's been something that's been really cool. But then like, okay, now we're going to create new recipes that you've never done. So now he's learning, here's basics of how to actually do a graham cracker crust. Here's how to make this custard with no egg. Here's how to set it. There's a lot of things that are happening. And then also saying, I called my mom, I'm gonna get an idea of how to make this oxtail, but then kind of bringing in like traditional cooking and saying, this is what we would do. Yeah. This is why. You brought up the idea of like, we put ketchup in it.
Yeah.
And I looked at you crazy when you said that.
Don't worry, mommy. It's okay.
But it actually makes tons of sense because now we're talking about, tomato, sugar, and vinegar, which is what we're going to put in the braising liquid anyway, to be able to create that nice gastrique flavor that a ketchup adds, which is just a gastrique. Mm-hmm. So I think it's been really cool seeing all that come together.
And I think it's dope that you were on one of the first episodes when it was the very beginning of your time here in the program. And then to be able to come full circle and be able to see that, hey, you're about to present your dish, cook your dish, kind of wrapping up your time here. So tell me about, your experience with Brother, just in general.
It's been a journey. I've been able to meet people and gain like connections and networking like all through Brother, and it's like it's teaching me like there's another side, there's a better side, do it, you do this and do that, work hard, you can have something.
Yeah.
So I've learned
it just cut off again. I just started it back up. So yeah, so sorry, brother just showed me that the OBS cut out. It just cut out twice on me. Every time I try to open up YouTube to follow the comments, it cuts out. So I'm not even opening up YouTube this time. Right. I'm gonna actually look up because there are a couple different OBS systems, like ones that you can actually purchase. I'm gonna look into that because this is the second week that it's done this to me.
Well, I think it's important for everyone to hear because the people who are listening to audio don't get to see this, but. As we've gone through this process, everything is a constant learning experience, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even like right now, like I'll just kind of tell this to the audio, like Brother's away from the microphone, and like this is our first time doing it away. And these microphones are so directional that since he's looking 45 degrees away, it's not as clean. But like that's a learning moment once again that we're trying to just kind of figure this out because eventually we're going to have a microphone on Brother. So he doesn't have to worry about that actual mic, standstill. So once again, another learning moment. But go ahead, brother.
But the cool part too is it's like we never said that this was going to be the most professional podcast. That we always wanted this to be something that was raw, and it is exactly that.
Exactly.
I think as people get to watch live on Facebook and see like everything that happens, like everything's great up until the last minute, and then it all falls apart. And then it's like a scramble to try to get it to fix. But then also we're taking notes all week to be like, this is the first week we're cooking.
Right.
And trying to figure out, okay, well now there's movement. Now there's direction happening. There's audio. We got to get this
Two
piece.
cameras
get
with
that
the same
piece.
software that we just realized.
Yeah. So I love that, this is so raw because as we get this thing locked down, which, when I look back at that very first week that we streamed to where we're at right now, because we could easily do a pre-recorded version, right?
We can, right? Which we have a few, but I think that this does give like a different feel of authenticity, raw, real, organic approach. But it's also like taking them along the journey. When they're able to see, episode 20, which is pristine by then. They can go back to episode 6 that has four takes on YouTube because the OBS kept crashing, and we're gonna figure that stuff out. So, I think that kind of bleeds into like, what was your inspiration behind starting this now as it's unfinished and in progress, brother?
Well, and I love that you asked that question because we talk about story, and story is the biggest piece. The story of this thing coming together, right? The studio coming together. I think that is something that needed to be documented because we're going to get to a point where we're going to have that content and be like, all right, we're making a documentary. Or, hey, we need to add these things together. Hey, remember when you were actually sledgehammering that whole space?
Right.
You know, that's all documented. And we're bringing the digital world along with us to learn, to grow, to create. And, you know, as this thing gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we start to add a lot more pieces to it, it's going to be exciting because you're going to be like, oh, man, I remember when. So,
yeah.
you know, I'm excited to see, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I look at episodes 1 versus episode 90.
Right.
And it's like night and day. But, you know, everybody had to start somewhere. And I think it's cool to just be raw and real. Nothing's perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And I think it's a shame for somebody to create that fake perspective or perception because it doesn't exist. That's not real.
No, I think it's important, especially, you know, taking it back to episode 1 to see how empty this building was. I mean, at that time, God, like to be honest, like we just put in the baseboard of the floor, which was a world of a difference. Like, God, that was a crazy improvement. To see the evolution of it. I mean, you know, just right here on this camera, you can see in the back, like there's actually furniture. There's actually a hardwood floor. You know, we have drywall. It's been painted. You know, we got some doors up. Bathrooms all set up, looking real nice. They're cooking in here. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to think that they're already cooking in here. So,
brother might not even go home tonight. He love this place so much. He already up here. He might not even go home.
Hey, his wife said he's not allowed to do that. No, but that's actually, you know, a fun part of it. You know, in my eyes, you know, as somebody who's joining along on the journey. You know what I'm saying?
And I've learned something from Dana too. I remember the first time I was talking to Dana, I said, "Yo, so what do you do, man?" He said one thing. He said, "Hey, I'm on the money move, man. I'm about making money." I said, "Man, I need to be on the same page." Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, it's funny because we were just kind of discussing that earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we're just talking about women, and you know, I got a baby mother.
Yeah,
I got a baby mama, but you know, I'm not really focused on that in my own life. I'm really trying to make a financial jump and you know, run a successful business. So I was just kind of telling him that, and today he was talking like, man, I'm trying to settle down just one.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I'm
trying to
proud
go down
of
to
you.
just one.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're just talking about how that can help your life and you know, your goals and things like that. And hell, I can get inspiration just from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, and let's touch on that because, you know, my better half, who made just a great comment, said, you know, we talk about the very first episode in here, but we have to go all the way back to the original Zoom classes.
Oh,
right?
wow.
The original cooking classes where Tina and I didn't even have Dana helping us.
Yeah.
We were figuring this thing out.
He was calling me like, how do you do this? I was like, bro, I'm not good at that.
Yeah,
we were just figuring this thing out and trying to create a studio in our kitchen at home.
Yeah.
And, you know, we look at the progress to now we're actually in a space, and now we're starting to actually get to the point of having things that are going to be, you know, they're not going to move around, so they'll be in their home places. But, you know, it is important to have that balance, right? You got to have somebody that you can depend on and help inspire you. I mean, Tina inspires me every day when I watch how hard she works, or I watch how she handles herself, or I watch, you know, the ups and the downs. Like, that's inspiring to me because it makes me like, okay, I'm strong enough. I can keep going. Yeah,
and I'm going to just say this because T inspires me in a way that the way that she holds brother down. Like, you know, that backbone. I think when Tina was in here, I can't remember the verbiage she says because I would never say that. But like she gets all the stuff that brother gets to unload. What did she call it? I don't know. Brother can unload all the stuff and kind of deep.
I can vent.
Yeah, basically,
that's how I feel.
That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And shout out T because that's so valuable for somebody on a mission. But I think what I love about her is how much she believes in brother's vision. Like you gotta really be courageous. You gotta have courage and belief to even believe in what the hell brother's doing because he's always evolving, always pushing the needle. And trying to go further. So tell me about the inspiration, brother, from that, you know, in a perspective of, expanding the business, whether it be the bar, the multiple restaurants, or even this, I'm gonna call it a passion project. Tell us the inspiration behind that. In regards to working with T.
I actually shared this with somebody earlier. I told them, I said, when you have one dream and you accomplish it, right? You accomplish that one goal.
Yeah.
Write down 3 more.
God, that's good.
And it's because Tina and I I think we were coming back from the mountains and we're driving. And I said, I think I've accomplished all my goals. And she said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She didn't say it in those words, but essentially,
that was the message.
Shut your mouth. And and it was like, she was absolutely right. Like, why am I selling myself so short? Because I think I got a little bit of TV exposure, or I got a restaurant that's it. Like, I've got new plans. So I've really started to create new ideas and new things, but also try to stay true to my priorities. But we've grown tremendously. It's surreal when I look back at the last 10 years and see how much we've done. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, T's a rock, man. She's an OG for sure.
I really see that's what I'm saying. It's all about learning. Like I look at everything, man. Like, I'm trying to learn some stuff right now, and trying to grow.
Yeah.
So like I look at all that. So like when I look at stuff like that, it's like I need to find me one,
Yeah.
I got too much going on. I can't be out there running around. I just need to find one and just handle my business. You know what I'm saying?
We were just talking about that because I was trying to express to Chris that it all takes time.
Yeah.
Even text messaging, staying involved in a conversation takes focus and time away from whether it be your day, your goal, or whatever you're trying to accomplish. But at the same time, it is good to have that backbone that is inspiring. And go ahead, brother, you're on the camera, so everybody can see.
No, I'm just saying, enjoying my food.
Go ahead.
So I'm making this mango relish right now.
Try to pull the mic. See if we can get a mic pull for us. Oh, no, pull it out. Pull it out. There we go. We're going to get you. I told you, watch out for that stuff. All right.
So I'm making this this mango salsa right now, and
sounds so much better.
I want to actually let Madison taste this because he said he wanted to do a nice piece of fried fish.
Yeah.
And I used to make this mango salsa probably, 2001, 2002.
I feel like I've had it.
You might have had it before, but it's a beautiful mixture of acid, sweetness, and spice. Because you need that to cut through fish, right? Especially a fried fish. There's a lot of fat there.
Yeah.
So the mango has been diced up. I added some red bell pepper, a little bit of red onion, a little bit of garlic, some chopped cilantro. I hit it with some rice wine vinegar and lime juice. So there's 2 different styles of acid in here. Rice wine's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but then I accentuated that with a little bit of honey. And then we coat that with some oil. So I just use a little bit of grapeseed oil to coat it all. So when it hits your palate, it's got a good balance of fat and sweetness to it. So I'm going to let you taste this before I start working the fish. But this is where I think we need to go tomorrow with your
the snapper.
With your snapper, because we're going to cook for all your bosses. And I think that's an important piece.
So for everybody who doesn't know, that was a high-level explanation of the topping on top of the fish.
It's pretty good too.
Well, what'd you think?
That's pretty good.
So do you get the heat, right? The habanero in the back,
you can taste
the
it.
honey, the acid, the lime, and the rice wine. Some really
You're able to taste it all.
You could have said that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could have said, "Hey, there's a little spice in here." Now I probably would have switched up the words a little bit, but some people would have got what I said. They'd be like, "All right, I get what you're saying."
In the back of the palate, the oil, the grape seed, the honey. All right.
The nice part is we're gonna let this marinate. I think that's the most important part. You got to let the acid in your salsas break down your fruit. So the vinegar and the lime actually needs time to sit on the fruit and kind of soften the hardness that's on there, right? The fruit's got a natural structure to it, so you got to let the acid kind of break it down. So we're going to let that sit for 20 minutes while we start working on the snapper.
All right. So we got some food working. I like this new episode of the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
You just like to eat.
We get to test the food. Danny Keith is in here, ready to eat. You know, I can smell it. You know, all the aromas. All right. So let's just kind of talk. You know, bringing it back to the inspiration, Chris, because I'm interested. You know, because you're working in the culinary world in the military. What was your inspiration for that?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have no inspiration to cook when I first joined the Army. I was just trying to it was just one of the things I was just trying to do, you know, just get away from home. And they told me, they said, you got these options, and they said cook, mechanic, and it was like another option. I was like, they was like, hey, if you choose cook, you can be airborne, you can jump out of planes, but I told them, I said, okay, but I don't really know how to. They gonna teach me how to cook, all right? Because you know,
right.
You want me to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I got you. But if you want to teach me how to cook, I'll do it. And I remember, I distinctly remember the recruiter saying, "Yeah, you're gonna be putting bags in big buckets of water and heating them up, and that's gonna be their meals." And I was like, "Man, you know what? That sounds pretty easy. All right, I'll do it." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah.
And just so y'all know, that's what we call sous vide. So it means to cook under pressure. So the bags are actually cryovac. We take all the air out of the bags. The food is then simmered in a very controlled temperature of water, and that's how it's cooked. So it's easy to reheat and serve mass amounts of people. So that's why you see it in the field or in big hotels, is because you're feeding a lot of people. So this is a very unique way of being able to cook. It actually dates back. I'm gonna give y'all some culinary knowledge.
Yeah, go ahead.
It dates back. Boil in a bag was actually the bladders of the cows. So they would actually take the bladders, right? They'd clean them out. Old French cooks, they'd clean them out. They'd put the food inside, and then they would take a bard and a needle, and they would sew them up. And then they would boil those bags. So this is not like a new modern molecular gastronomy technique.
I feel like I missed something. Tell me again. You said they pull it out the cow?
The bladder, right?
Yeah.
So the bladder was nice and sturdy and structured. That was the bag. So now it's, you know, they're heavy duty plastic bags.
Food in it?
Yeah, so the food would go in there. So then they could cook it nice and slow in the liquid, and it wouldn't be too aggressive. So it's actually an old technique. But yeah, it originally comes from a bladder.
Yeah, I really just learned that. I learned a couple things today. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
So my question would be is, like, did you eventually find the love for it or get an inspiration for it? Like, what the hell?
Gross.
Who said that? T said
Tina
gross.
said gross.
Gross.
Yeah. So.
Because you want to start your business, is from what I understand, right?
Yeah. So yeah, eventually, like, when it comes to cooking, man, especially in the Army, I'm gonna say it's on you. Mm-hmm. You know, if you want to pursue it more, I say do it. If it's something that it's just a job to you and you just doing it, then do that. But for me, like, I had NCOs who really knew how to cook, you know.
So what's the NCO?
NCO is a non-commissioned officer.
Yeah, that was good because I had no clue.
Non-commissioned
I hear
officers.
It all the time, though.
Yeah, so my rank right here, I'm a specialist, you know, E4.
Okay.
So the next rank is E5.
You're a little sergeant.
Yeah,
I know a little something.
About to be a little sergeant soon. You know, I'm studying for that.
You better study.
Oh my God, yeah. I got so much going on. I can't be out there like that. You know, I got.
It's coming back.
Oh man.
Hey, you sure you listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Hey, he's ready to settle down, baby.
Nah, but like I had NCOs that really knew what they were talking about. You know. And like it made it interesting, you know, because you know I was young coming in, you know, it was like, hey, I'm just doing this just to get away, just for this job, you know. I was looking for somebody to like motivate me, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
I had those people to motivate me to, you know, try to do better, and that's the inspiration right there. That was the whole beginning of it.
I like that, brother. That kind of feeds back to like your beginning, like, you know, trying to What did you just say? Like, motivate you to do better. He was inspiring you, and it was like that positive feedback, that reinforcement that would give you that motivation.
Yep.
I think it's unique to hear his story because, you know, I got into culinary for the same reason. You know, I wanted to eat. I wanted food every day, and I thought culinary would be a good place to do that when I signed up for it in high school. So when I got in culinary in high school, I didn't realize this, but at the time, I needed discipline. I needed structure.
Right.
I needed positive reinforcement. And that's what the chefs did for me. You know, the chefs that I was under, the French chef, the Italian maitre d', the chef doing all the pastry, they were so strict and stern. I actually needed that, and that was helpful for me.
My bad. I was over here taking a picture. So yeah, having that discipline and somebody there to reinforce, you know, a lot of young men need, you know, somebody.
And women.
Oh, and women. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. You know, young people, young people need that, man. They really do. It's critical for their development to push them, to give them courage and you know, for lack of better words, I think purpose. You know, a little bit of meaning. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What you got, Chris?
Yeah. So yeah, basically what he was saying, like, it's just the motivation, you know, like, yeah, I'm in this, but like, I still sometimes feel like I got that mindset, like, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. You know, like, what do I want to do? And like, brother helping me with this he's basically giving me tools, man. Like, he's saying, hey, I'm giving you the tools. You can be this, you know.
Yeah.
Just like listen, pay attention. You know, you're gonna have to put in some work.
So I'm curious now, you know, towards the end of this, you know, what is your goal as far as like starting your business?
Hey,
you know, when you
brother took the question from me. Go ahead, smack him with it.
When you do decide to get out of the military,
right.
Where do you see yourself going in as a business owner?
So
talk to him.
So eventually, like I tell everybody, I'm in school right now. You know, I'm trying to finish school right now, but eventually, I think brother gonna have some competition. I don't know. Eventually in the future, he gonna. You know, I was just talking to brother earlier. I was telling him how I was making dumplings for somebody.
My man, you made the key lime pie for like 40 hours, man.
Hey, I still got time, all right? I still got a little time, all right? I'm just a protege right now.
All right, go ahead.
You know?
But keep going. Like, I love it, actually.
Like I said, I'm really getting into, like, I made dumplings. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just made them because I've learned how to make them here.
Oh, you made them at the crib?
Yeah, I made them on my own one day.
Hey, good for you, family.
And like it was awesome, you know. And that's all of me like taking it in and learning. Yeah, you know. And like
that means a lot.
Actually, I was thinking, like, I looked at my menu, man, when I create. I've been looking at a lot of things. Like I've been pretty busy with other stuff, but like I've been trying to take this part serious because I feel like it's helping me and it's teaching me a lot. Mm-hmm. So I looked at my menu and I was talking to other people. I was like, I could take this menu and like start and build something just from
straight
menu.
From right there.
Just from right there. I can start right there, like oxtails, you know, make it, you know. So like it's not nothing on paper right now. Like I said, it's just one step at a time, trying to finish college first and stuff. But that's the way, you know, I'm looking at competition.
Competition
in the future.
So like restaurant is what you're thinking. Go ahead, brother.
You better keep practicing.
I got that. I know I'm not ready yet. I'm not there yet, but it's coming. It is coming though.
Hey, you better go to the school of brother.
Well, you know, and just to keep the food going, I think it's you know, just so you kind of see what we've done here. So I took that snapper, I took one side of the fillet off, so cut that just down into 3 pieces. I did a 50-50 blend of semolina and flour, so there's a little bit of structure there. But we can use cornmeal as well for a little bit more texture. I think I got some downstairs. I seasoned it up, so instead of going like a traditional Cajun seasoning, that's been one of the things we've been talking about. Yeah, has been all the stuff we grew up with: seasoning, salt, ketchup, all these things that we know as ingredients. We can make those things. So. Yeah. You know, instead of buying some Cajun seasoning, what we did is I just used some garlic powder, some onion powder. I used a little bit of scorpion chili for heat instead of cayenne. Yeah. We snuck that in there. We snuck some herbs in there.
That's what you were telling me earlier about the ketchup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a ketchup is nothing but a gastrique, right? Which is fruit, tomato, cooked down with sugar and vinegar. Mm-hmm. And it's just cooked down until it's syrupy consistency. So ketchup is a gastrique. It's just a fancy.
What are you saying? Say that again. I'm missing it.
Gastrique. So it's a sauce. Gastrique. Gastrique. Gastrique.
Okay, got it.
So it's just a term that we use, but it's simply it's a fruit mixture cooked down with sugar and vinegar. So, you know, we were talking about that a lot of the things that, you know, he had written into his recipes for today, he's like, well, I got to go buy this seasoning. I go, well, we have spices. Yeah. Right. So now we're talking about blending. So that's what we put into the fish. That's what we spice things up with. what we're gonna do now, and I did a double dredge. So I started in the dry, which was the flour and the semolina. Then we're gonna go into the buttermilk. So that's gonna help stick it, right? And then I went back to the dry to give it a thicker crust. So I'm doing a double dredge on that. So 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So you got double amount of flour on there, which means when I get this hot oil going, so I got this pan on nice high heat, I'm going to be able to lay that fish away from me and start that caramelization or frying that fish. So we're just going to fry that fish away from us and actually start to get it nice and golden and crispy because we're going to serve that with that mango salsa.
Well, stop drooling over there, boy. I see you drooling right now.
Hey man, I don't know the lingo. Like I'll still be trying to like catch it. It's like Spanish to me. So like when I hear like hola and you know como estas, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay, I understand that part.
Yeah. Now you're not alone. Like they don't teach. Like it's crazy. You know what's crazy? Like a lot of stuff I've learned, they don't teach us that in the culinary world in the army.
Right.
Like the different. Like what was that? Pink salt. I've never heard of pink salt.
Yeah, so
like stuff like that. It's like little stuff like I'm learning about like different like seasonings and stuff.
Yeah, so we were talking about like pink salt. So we have a variety of salts here, from fleur de sel to which is just sea salts, to volcanic soil salts, to carrying salts. So we were talking about the difference of like Himalayan rock sea salt versus curing salt that's used to make sausages and things of that nature. So I think it's good education. When we talk about what the training you guys get over at the dining facilities in the military, they go through Surf Safe training, right? So they get Surf Safe certified, meaning they understand proper temperatures, they understand to wash their hands, they understand how to store things, they understand what's going to cause foodborne illnesses. So they go through a training of that, and then it's a basic intro to knives. A basic skills class, and then kind of a rough intro of like, this is a sauce. This is product identification. So, it's an intro, but you have to think like I've been in kitchens 25 years. So that's a lot of experience. You got some time to
catch up, family.
You got to catch up.
I got to catch up. I think it's a learning curve,
I think that's funny because like even for me, like even when you start thinking about like the sauce and goddamn, all these little basic stuff, it's so complex to me until I actually be like, okay, now I get it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about that process with brother, like learning with brother on the spot.
Oh man,
because you've done so much, man. You've helped. Oops, my bad.
He has this joke sometimes. He'd be like, "Damn, why you moving so slow?" I need to pick it, but see, like it's just like he works with me. He knows that I need to learn. And so he takes his time with it and he explains it out. And then when he's explaining it, like as he's going with it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how he's doing it. Okay, so that's how I'm learning.
Yeah, 100%.
Basically, with the key lime pie example, a perfect example.
Oh, the key lime pie. Let's talk about that for a second, because old buddy said he fixed the sink before you made the pie.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here and I should have had my mise en place. That's what I messed up. I should have had my mise en place ready. I should have everything. I'm just running, just thinking about this pie and stuff, and I ran out of condensed milk too. So I had to
hold on. Let's clarify this.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Bring it back, brother.
Here's where he went wrong. So mise en place, you have to have everything in its place. So we made the mango salsa, we made the batter, we made the fish. I mean, I got everything rolling to be able to sell this. But I had everything staged and ready to go. I had my mise en place ready. When we started doing this key lime pie today, he didn't take the whole recipe and get it all laid out and look at it. So the first challenge that happened was he got condensed milk mixed up with evaporated milk, which is a common thing. Like it's sold next to each other in the grocery stores, usually in the cabinets in the pantry. They're right next to each other. They both look like similar cans, but one is extremely wet and one's extremely sweet and thick.
I told him about it.
So when we started seeing that mixture, I was like, I don't know. You might have to start over. Yeah. So we had to start over, which was the first piece of that.
All right. So we got a little insight to what's really going on.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I realized what was going on, I'm sitting there pouring the cans in, ready to mix. I'm back and forth, and like I realized, I'm like, why it's so wet?
Yeah,
It's supposed to be a little thicker than this. I'm like, and I look at the can and say, evaporate. I'm like, oh my God. And that's when I told brother, I was like, I think I messed up, man. I think I messed up. He was like, yeah, you might as well just start over, you know?
So are you ready for tomorrow? You know, how you feel in terms of preparation, like your thought process? Where are you at with that
I feel
in terms
awesome
of
for tomorrow.
executing?
I feel awesome for tomorrow. I know me and brother, like we've talked, we know what's gonna happen. We know tomorrow, like it's gonna be a grind. Like gotta come in, gotta get the plate set up, you know, the utensils.
And you said this is happening at 12?
At 12.
Is when dinner is ready to serve, or is that when yeah? Is that what it is?
That's gonna be the time. That's gonna be
okay.
It's time to get hot, you know.
All right.
With the oxtails, I'm going to basically take them things off the bone. And it should be nice. It should be nice, and it shouldn't be too I don't want to say the word too hard, too rubbery, you know. I want it to be nice and soft, the meat.
Yeah.
So just fall right off. And me and brother was talking about it. We're gonna try to keep the vegetables that's with them on it too. That's a nice little. I think this will be a nice little touch. So
Because I've been cooking with them.
Yeah, and I think the important piece to kind of look at tomorrow is there's still a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah.
And when it comes to especially a chef's mind, we're constantly rewriting our prep list over and over and over. What did I get done today? Okay, what do I got left to do tomorrow? So it never stops. And for us, that actually translates a lot to life because we never stop, right? We're always thinking about, okay, tomorrow I got to get this list done. I got to get this list because we work on lists. So I think when we look at tomorrow, you know, when I look at the food, there's still a decent amount of work, right? We got to fire rice in the morning. We got to make sure that all the mise en place is ready for that rice to go in.
We got to cut up the pie.
We got to cut up the pie. We got to plate the pie.
Yep.
We got to pull the oxtail out. We got to make the sauce, heat it up, get the fat out of it. We got to shred it off the bone. We got to prep all that fish, get it cleaned up, get it dredged, get it ready so we can be able to fry it. And then you got to be able to fire it on time so it all comes together at once. But in addition to that, we've got to serve this party.
Yeah.
So we got to set the dining room. We got to make sure there's glasses up here. The silverware is up here. Like, I was just thinking about this right now. Like, I'm missing a piece of my mise en place right now because I got all this beautiful stuff for us to eat, and we ain't got no forks up here. Right?
Oh,
That's
man.
a piece of the mise en place that I miss for tonight.
Okay.
So you're thinking about that stuff for tomorrow. Is everything ready? Is the bathroom ready? Can people go in there and use the restroom? Is there toilet paper? Does the sink work? Like, all those things are extremely important. So you have to be thinking about that constantly.
And even like I want to describe, like, I want to give like everybody tomorrow, like before they eat or while they eat, and I want to give them an explanation why I cooked this. You know, why did I make Jamaican oxtails? Why did I decide to make, you know, snapper? I want to tell them, you know, where it's coming from. Like my reason for making all this. Well, I want them to see why they're eating the food. So yeah.
It's a lot to put together. And it's a presentation. You know, you got to deliver.
You know what
I've
story. You know I've realized from you and brother, like, y'all got no chill, man. Y'all always on when y'all finish with one task, he was like, all right, I got to go do this. Always on another. I think that's I'm seeing that and I'm learning from that. You know, like I know I got to study. I know I got the board coming up, but it's just like, you know what? Like I told brother, I want to get this meal out. Like I want to finish it. You know what I'm saying? I started it. I want to finish it, and I want to keep pushing on. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good that you want to do that. Go ahead, bro.
Well, and all I'm thinking is I got to get through his lunch tomorrow so I can start writing the chef's table for Friday because I got to be at 4 to do the chef's table for Friday night because we got a sold out night at 4 on Friday night and my chef's out right now. So I'm going to be over there cooking and making sure that that's all get done. So I got a whole nother dinner to plan as soon as we finish up his lunch tomorrow. Yeah. So it's just nonstop.
Nonstop, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to kind of bring back the topic, brother, I'm going to pull you back for a second. Tell me about that hustle. Like, because you literally just, not Trump, because I don't think that's the right word. You have multiple plates at the same time. Tell me about the inspiration that, you know, that keeps you going to be able to go back to 4 when, you know, your chef is out, to hold down the fort. You know, obviously you are a chef, but you're also the business owner. So like, there has to be some type of, you know, story to tell in regards to being able to play all these multiple positions.
So when I was 10 years old, before my pops passed away, we were down at Pier 39 in San Francisco. And there was this juggling store out there that my parents used to always let me go into. And they let me buy, or they bought me a set of juggling balls.
Yeah, to learn how to
And
juggle.
I remember working on trying to get that third ball to catch, to get the rotation going.
Yep.
And it's funny that it wasn't until you just said juggling that I've actually put that together, that training myself to learn how to juggle as a young kid is actually how my mind works.
Yes.
Every day in business, I'm juggling a lot of things.
All right, so check this out. I'm gonna fuck with you on that one, because when you juggle, and this is because I tried to juggle when I was young, you have to focus on the one that you throw up at that time. There's some type of similarity in that, bro.
It's not what's in your hands; it's what's in the air.
It's the one that you threw in the air that you have to focus on. There's some type of similarity in there.
Yeah, it's you know, it's pretty surreal, but you know, I handle a lot of things, but a lot of it comes down to time management. It comes down to constantly rewriting out my list, planning out my days, communicating, keeping good people around me. I have amazing people on my team that I talk to on a regular basis, and you know, I mean, it can be something as simple as like, you know, it's text messages in the morning. Like the other day, I was texting one of my GMs, and I'm like, you know, I started shooting off this list at like 7:45 in the morning. Yeah. And then I realized, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, right.
You know, just because my brain hasn't shut off since last night.
Right.
So I'm still processing and working a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's crazy.
Go ahead, Chris. What you got?
Nah, my NCO just texted me. He was like, I'm watching right now. How you going to mess up the key lime pie?
That's awesome.
He just texted me that. Oh.
Well, in his defense, he didn't mess it up.
Yeah, it was messed up.
It's in the freezer. It's set up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
We're good now.
Yeah.
There was just some, you know, some struggles,
He
some
just
giving
lessons
me
to
a hard
learn.
time. He cool. He cool.
Little
Just giving me a
speed
hard time.
bump,
Nah.
you know. He had to get through the hiccup.
When he come tomorrow and he eat some of that key lime pie, he gonna be talking real different. So I ain't worried about it.
Yeah,
you
you
know
gotta ask him, is it messed up now?
Yeah, I ain't even worried about it.
Nah, but that's good, man. I love this because, you know, once again, I think that it's so cool that you were on episode 1.
Oh yeah.
To now we're 6 weeks later down the road, and you're coming on the end of the program.
I was telling him he got like a little Tony Stark little place going on. Like he was trying to take down. We were trying to like remove some of the lights because the lighting was kind of like it was a lot and it was glaring. And he couldn't figure out how to take off the top of the where it covers it.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's because you asked for the Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? You asked for the Tony Stark, you're gonna get the Tony Stark. You know, the new hotness.
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm it's a little bit smarter than I am when it comes to some of this
nice
technology in here.
So how you looking over there on the fish, bro? Talk to us.
Yeah, so the fish is coming together. You know, one of the things that is most important when we're cooking is you have to pay attention to heat, right? I teach this a lot in my cooking classes, but heat is the one thing you have to control because, you know, the burner or the oven
So are you
is
cooking
an
on
instrument.
medium? Are you cooking on?
I'm on medium right now.
Okay.
I turned it down, but it's an instrument.
Yeah.
Right? It goes up, it goes down. You have to learn how to play it.
Uh-huh.
And you have to control the temperature. Just because it goes high, don't mean it has to be high all the time. You don't have to cook everything on 11.
Yep.
I know you special forces, but you don't have to cook everything on 11.
Okay.
So control it. You know, if it gets too hot, turn it down. Take it off the burner. You know, so you can see I'm controlling the color, the caramelization of this fish by controlling the heat. How many times did you grow up and you was eating that fried chicken and there was that one dark spot, that fried burnt spot, because the heat wasn't evenly controlled, right? It sat too long in that one spot. The pan might have been too thin. It hit the electric coil a little bit too hard, and you lost that, you know, that caramelization. So the control is everything.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's a tip for me is control the heat. All right, y'all, I'm learning.
Control the heat.
Because I put my thing on 7 all the time.
I mean,
but like my magic number is 7. I'm like, oh, it's
I
not
still
too
love
high.
your pizza oven video.
Look, man, I gotta put that up for the people to watch because I made a pizza, or I didn't make a pizza rather. I left the pizza in the oven. I was watching a movie and I just totally forgot. I normally put the timer on it so I don't forget. And I came back and it was hard as a brick. So we I took a hammer and smashed the pizza in it. That allowed it to break a little bit. But that's my story. I'm really, the truth is coming out that I'm not the chef in the building. the classes that we're gonna film, like I would learn how to cook when I'm editing those classes.
Yeah.
Like that's when I would learn the most, because I have to watch it back so many times over and over. But man, I love this topic of inspiration because as a videographer, filmmaker, inspiration for me has always come from helping somebody else. I picked up a camera originally to help out a buddy with music videos. That's how I got into this whole field. I actually upgraded when I met Brother Luck, trying to help him with his vision as well. So my whole journey has been inspired by helping other people. And literally that has been my journey. So whether it's helping now, I'm helping other business owners. You know, I'm not necessarily doing music videos as much anymore. But that's where I get inspiration from how I can help and serve other people through this craft. So that's my little story about inspiration. And obviously I think, you know, through working with Brother Luck for so many years, he's inspired me so many different ways. Like, you know, the way that he evolves, you know, continuously. This whole thing is an evolution of an idea that he had. So that's inspiring in its own. And then also I love when we have their talks. There's this phrase that he always says that, you know, he wants to work on his business, not in the business. And granted, he has to work in the business because he's the owner and has to take up, you know, some of that time. But that's one of those next level things for me as a, you know, small business owner as well. I can't wait to work on my business instead of in my business. But brother's over there plating up some plates. And I'm getting excited because I see all the colors with the mango fruit, you know, a little bit of salt.
I think one of the most exciting parts about this is, you know, once we do get all this this beautiful technology figured out, it's gonna be like an episode of Chopped in here. You know, like hands up, utensils down, Top Chef type experience.
If you're watching this right now, and you coming to eat tomorrow, do not look at the fish. Stop. I don't want you to even look at it. Don't even look at the fish.
Hey, they can't taste it though. I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you if it's
That's the
good or
main
not.
part.
Don't worry, I got y'all back. Don't worry. All right now. So you said what's going on right now, brother? Tell me again.
So I'm just kind of plating everything up. We've got the fried snapper. It's got a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Instead of the cayenne, we used a little bit of scorpion pepper. So it's got some nice spice to it. Garlic, onion, all that good stuff's in there. Black pepper, buttermilk dredge, a little bit of cornmeal, a little bit of flour. Then we finish that off with a mango salsa with some lime, some fresh lime, because I really think that's going to hit, you know, kind of your whole Floridian style of dish that you want to serve tomorrow.
Okay,
so I'm just gonna bring
so,
it to the camera.
So we about to take us back. Take me back to Florida. Are you looking at the other one?
Hold on. I'm looking at them all.
I got you.
It's beautiful.
That's what you can see. You can see right here with what we see.
So, you know, this is gonna be exciting because this is what, you know,
A little higher because I got a name tag.
he's
All
gonna
right.
cook this tomorrow. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving him the example and kind of walking him through the process, so he can cook this tomorrow for all his bosses. So I hope he doesn't screw it up. So
Nah, they gonna know what's up. They gonna know what's up.
Very nice. We're just gonna do a little photo. There you go. Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, wait.
You know what's crazy? So
All right, for everybody on the audio, we were just trying to get some good images.
you
of
remember
the
my recipe I
food.
showed you for the snapper? This is exactly how.
That's how you saw it?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing.
That's exactly how it was.
Good Lord, this.
That's the
looks
thing.
good.
A recipe should be a guideline, right? You know, you should be able to look at a recipe and kind of say, all right, this is what we're trying to accomplish. He wants to do fried snapper with a mango salsa. So we're thinking about balance. We're thinking about crispiness. We're thinking about sour, heat, you know, acid, all of those things together as one of his courses. So it's kind of cool to be able to give him a nice little visual of what it's going to look like tomorrow. So when he prepares it, he's actually had an example of it. So pretty cool. But yeah, that's one of the most important parts of what we're going to do here at the studio. as we continue to grow and figure this thing out. As we're just gonna be doing a lot of cooking up here.
We're gonna be cooking up here.
Yeah, you're gonna see tons of demos, cooking classes. We're gonna be hosting those weekly, so stay tuned for that. You can always check those out on the website as we get those uploaded. But we definitely want to show you something really cool.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
We don't have any. I don't have a fork, so I just dove into it.
Right in it, man. That's
And,
that's what you gotta do.
See, that's my fault because I forgot the mise en place of the fork.
It's all right, so I'm not gonna blame you. I wasn't gonna say that. I was just gonna
Look at that. Here comes a spoon. Spoon incoming.
That's why I always get kicked off those TV shows because I don't be thinking about that last little piece. I'd be like, oh man.
Oh, damn, I need that.
Man, this is delicious.
But it's an egg roll.
But it's an egg roll. It's a German one.
It's a German egg roll.
I bet you it was good, too.
Yeah.
I was salty at that part.
No,
too.
so I'm excited to get into this. I think this is fun. Plus the oxtails are smelling delicious. Like, this whole place smells like, beautiful oxtail.
That's
right
what
now,
I wanted to hit.
Which is exactly. I mean, we put those in probably 10 o'clock this morning.
Yep.
9:30, 10 o'clock this morning.
They're still going.
So they still going. We're just letting them slowly braise all day long, as they should. So Madison, what you think? I'm not from Florida, but I can throw down.
Yeah. I just came back from Florida, and I didn't have nothing like this. I can tell you that. This is delicious.
This right here is pretty delicious. But I feel like I gotta put my own. I feel like I gotta touch it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's delicious, but if I wanted to be from Florida, I gotta touch it. You know what I'm saying?
And here's
I
the
gotta
thing:
put some hands on it.
it's your dish, as
Yeah.
you should.
Yes, baby, you should, baby.
Yeah.
I think I've obviously worked in Florida, so I get the flavor
Oh, yeah.
profiles from being down there. But I think it's important for you to put your own flavor, your own spin on it.
Oh yeah.
That way, it's yours. You're taking an inspiration of a dish from me and turn it into your own dish.
See, ever since I said he got competition, now he trying to show off right now. You know.
Hey, man, that motherfucker ain't got to show off
Ain't
to.
got to show off nobody.
Yeah, baby. This is regular degler.
But that's gonna be the coolest part about being up here in the studio. Is as we host these events, I mean we're gonna have about 20 seats up here. You're gonna be able to come in this kitchen with us while we're cooking the dinner. So I think that's something that's really special. Is it's got that open feel. It's got that approach where come in the kitchen, cook with us, go sit down, have a cocktail. We're gonna have the patio. We still have to do the work out there, but we're gonna have the patio. We can go drink a glass of wine, and I love the approachability of that. Like that, there's nothing like that because a restaurant can't operate that way. So doing it as a private event space, this is gonna be something really special. But then, when we do these podcasts and when we have these Wednesday night sessions, it's no luck's given all day. Like we can have all kinds of people come through, and as we have all this camera equipment set up and we're streaming all this live, it makes it even more fun. So, yes, we are slow cooking oxtails right now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Madison wants to show off his Jamaican background, and we got some allspice and some Scotch bonnets and some oxtails in the oven, just cooking nice and slow.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. What you got for us? Tell us what you think of the dish.
Dana don't want to talk because he eating.
Nah,
I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. I'm trying to finish this fish. You know it's good when you got to put your tongue in your teeth and get that little
Look,
thing
man.
up like that. Now when you know it's good, man.
Look, I know it's good.
I can't even talk about it. It's delicious.
Tell us the flavors that you taste. What profiles are you getting?
A lot of the mango. A lot of the mango.
You see, I tested them, bro.
He's getting in there. But, that's the cool part about getting to taste the dish before you work through a dish. And we do this a lot in the kitchen, especially when I cook with Steve Kander. We always cook the dish ahead of time to taste it, to see where it's at. That's way we can refine it the next day, or we can refine it that evening. So this is an important part of executing a dinner, is actually being able to taste it, see where it's at, and say, okay, that heat might be a little too much. Because I snuck 2 different heats in there. You got habanero in the salsa, but then I got the scorpion chili in the breading. So you're getting two completely different heats on your palate right now, which is balanced. But I was very aware of that as I was making it. I also put that lime on there so you can calm that down, when it hits your tongue. So, it's a fun dish. It's going to be a great lunch tomorrow. I'm really excited to be able to cook this up here. The first meal in the studio is representing Chris Madison from Special Forces, U.S. Army. He's finishing up his Bridge the Gap program, so pretty special.
Ain't never
Salute,
finished.
bro.
It's still going to be going on. Don't worry. I'm going to still be up here.
Nah, but that's incredible though, and this is funny because I'm not really good at the whole palate tasting thing. I'll just tell you, is it good or is it not? I just know that this is good, but when he was describing the heat, I was like, oh, that's what's going on right now in my mouth is the damn heat. But it's so subtle, it's not overwhelming.
But as a chef, that's important because my entire career, I'm training my palate to understand that. So that's my control in a dish is I know how much heat I'm putting in something and how to restrain myself back or how to counter it. Like if you squeeze that lime on top of that fish and get a little bit more acid on the fish, it's going to make the heat completely different, almost like a hot sauce. So, it's intention. And that's where experience comes from.
Okay, we learning here. All right, y'all. No Luck's Given this week was a cooking episode. We learned a little bit. We learned that an oxtail is not from an ox. That's the first thing that we learned. What else do we?
Well, I think it's important too. I'm actually pull those oxtails out right now so we can see where they're at.
All right. Let's check them out.
It's about 6:00.
Yeah.
6:30, somewhere around there.
Nah, I mean we're past that 7:30, bro.
Oh my God. Oh my! You don't look at the time. You just been moving all day.
Seriously, like I thought it was 6 o'clock. It's 7:30. So.
Yeah, we started the podcast at a little bit late, so we just hit about an hour, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
And me and brother actually got in like 9 today, like 9.
Nah, but this is beautiful. Like, just to pull this full circle, cause we're letting brother pull the oxtails out.
Yep.
And let me go ahead and switch this focus on him. Make sure he's Gucci. All right, there he's back in focus. But I love that you're going to be the first person to cook up here. I think it's special because you were at the very beginning of this whole thing, and you got to catch. Go ahead, brother. What you smelling? What notes are you catching?
It was a beautiful whiff of just spices and beef that just hit me.
But I just love. I'm gonna finish this thought just because I love that you were here at the very beginning of when we were, tearing this place down. It's still on you, brother. So if you want to show the camera that it's falling off the bone type stuff.
Oh yeah, well, and that's what I'm checking right now. Is just to see before I start pulling things out. Is the actual consistency, like how I got a spoon in my hand to see if it falls off the bone, and it's pretty tender.
That's what we want.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about that. I think it's gonna be capable of pulling it. But you can see how big some of these guys are. I mean, they were hotels. They were hotels.
That's all deliciousness right there.
Yeah. And you can see the amount of fat that's on the top.
Yeah.
It's got all that bone in the center, all that marrow in there, and underneath you got tons of meat. So if you kind of lift that up, you can kind of see all that beautiful meat that just I got a spoon right now, and I can just pull it off,
scraping it right off
with a spoon.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's how the oxtails are just about there. But we're gonna let these rest in this braising liquid overnight. It's gonna allow the fat to rise to the top. As it chills down, the fat's gonna solidify, and then tomorrow morning we'll be able to just take the fat cap off. So we'll only have the braising liquid, which is the sauce, and that's gonna become the gravy for this.
Okay, I'm learning. I'm definitely going to be here to test the meal.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
But I, just to finish the thought, though, because I think it is powerful that you're able to be here from the start of the building out process to the end. But not just that, man. Not just being here 6 weeks later and it being built out, but you're going to be the first person to cook in here.
Yeah.
That's special, bro.
That's a big thing. I didn't even realize it until I forgot who told me downstairs. I was going to wash the bowl out, the mixing bowl, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, how you feel? You about to be like one of the first person to cook in the studio? And I just stopped. And I was like, ain't he right? I mean, nah. I just look at it as like a pleasure, like it's a blessing, man.
Right here, bro.
A blessing.
Up.
Oh yeah.
You see it? There we go.
See that whole oxtail. All that beautiful fat.
A little higher, because I got a name tag. Go ahead, right
All that
there.
beautiful fat. It's got the bone still in it. But
Look at that. Everybody on audio, sorry, y'all. We over here showing the oxtail to the camera. Literally just pulled the meat right off the bone, man.
But
We're going to let it rest through the night.
It's the taste. I want people to get it from it. The taste, like.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
But like going back, man, you're gonna be the first person to cook
Yeah.
in here. That is pretty special,
It's a
especially
blessing.
this unique space.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It's just like I'm looking at this thing now. It's like I first walked in here, I seen brother with a sledgehammer in his hand. First time I
yeah.
ever seen him.
Oh, for real?
Had a sledgehammer in his hand. He was knocking in stuff, and I was looking around. I was like, what's
What are we
going-
doing?
what kind
here?
of kitchen you sending me to?
Yeah. I was like, what's going on right now? You know? And like brother was just telling me, it was like it's about to be something big, and I was here basically through the whole thing, and yeah.
I love it, man.
Oh yeah.
Brother, what you got for us?
I think it's important for everybody to know that you have to be so much more than just your profession. Branch yourself out and take on additional responsibilities, because you have the ability to be more than just somebody doing the production. You have the ability to be the owner, to be the boss, to inspire, to mentor, to grow people, to make change, to invest in your community. I'm very fortunate that that's where my head's at, because that's what we do with our business. And it's pretty cool as we continue to build concepts and grow within the Colorado Springs community. That's what it's about. It's really about making this place special for the people that we represent, the people that come to our restaurants to dine, the people that are here in our community that we support, and also the people who work for us in our business. So I think it's been kind of cool to share that with Chris over the last couple weeks, because he's gotten to see everyone,
I don't know.
but then get a taste of everyone. I mean, I remember the first time I put him on the floor and taught him how to host and bust a table, and he was like, "Oh, I could do this. I can make money. I should be making tips right now."
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious.
I got that money mindset, but but like I said, it's crazy. I've evolved. Like, brother got me want to go golfing.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
good.
something I actually want to do. Like, I be with my friends. I be like, yo, I was go golfing this weekend. They look at me like, what? I'm
Yeah.
like, hey man, that's how you make networks. You know what I'm saying? That's how you make connections with people. That's how you talk business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned all that from brother. You know.
Yeah.
And I just go to my friends.
What else you learned? This is cool. I'm gonna just go down the line. What else have you learned from brother on this 6 week? Because obviously you was on our first podcast. You on week 6. You gonna be around, man. But I don't know how many more podcasts you gonna be. So I want to what all the things have you learned from brother? I'm real curious. If you could spitball them,
I still got more to learn. But spitballing, I just.
Give us a fair idea.
Fair idea. I don't want to talk too much. I want to break it down. Grind. That one word right there.
Yeah.
Brothers taught me grind.
Yeah. Just seeing how he grinds.
The grind, like it's the grind. Like you gotta, if you want something, man, you gotta go get it. Like
I like that. That's a good message.
you can't, like you're gonna have them days when like you're gonna have the chance to like, if you want to like sleep and like chill and do this and do that, but like. I just learned, like, if you want something, man, like, you got to sacrifice sometimes.
Get up there and go get
You got
it.
to get up and go get it.
I like that. And
That's the
brother,
main
you got
thing.
something for us real quick? Because I'm gonna hit you with the question of the week.
No, I think it's great to hear grind, but I think also, I think Madison has had the opportunity to kind of watch. It's more than just doing the business.
Yeah.
We've been involved in so many other things besides just the business.
Yeah.
And I mean, even today was really special because, we had the chaplain from Evans Hospital hit us up and say,
They had that going
"Hey, would you be willing to come up here and just put some smiles on some people's faces?" We got first responders, people that just been going through it. They're getting systems changed in their technology, and it's been a hard week. So we showed up. We came in at 9 o'clock this morning. We made 2 big old Lexons of bacon fat popcorn, and we drove up to Fort Carson and went into the hospital and gave away bags of popcorn.
That's awesome.
Right?
They loved it, man.
And it wasn't for money.
delicious
It
too,
wasn't for. It was just cause.
For
like,
more morality. Is that the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
word?
And I told Tina this when I got back. I was like, I'm glad I did it. It was just rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I needed that. Like regardless if I felt like I had the time or not.
Yeah.
I'm glad we did that because it was powerful.
Well, just little things like that, like giving
Yo,
back.
that shit just hit my heart too. Because
Yeah.
when you say that you got more than what you gave,
Yeah.
that's a powerful message in giving. But go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like now like little stuff like that. Like I feel like I'm being taught about like things I could use in life general. You know, not just
life lessons, not
life
just
lessons,
culinary
like just
kitchen.
cooking and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
big.
life. Like that's what I'm taking in. Like that's what I'm trying to take in. Like because it's I can learn how to cook, but like
Right.
what about outside of cooking?
Right.
Like,
Right.
What if you want to start a business? How you gonna
And that is a side of it that people don't know is that
Yeah.
they do teach you here with this program is like the financials and the ordering and things like that, like all the things that go into management, admin, like you're getting insight into those details. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, very much. And it's like I said, it's up to you. Like whoever's next in this program, it's going to be up to them. Like if they want to learn. Like the reason I always show up on time for work, and like I just feel like I said, I learned to grind. Like that's my favorite word. I seen it in this bathroom. I went to go use the bathroom. I looked over and I seen he had the grind.
Yo, I ain't gonna. That's nasty
what?
for me to say, but I was trying to piss. I was over here trying to read too. Nah, those are inspiring.
Yeah,
like
that's
super
my favorite one.
inspiring.
That's my favorite one out of
all
all
right, cool.
grind.
So let's hit them with the question of the week because I always try to give our listeners and our fans something to take away each week, whether it's an advice, tip, just personal, inspiration, things like that. And the topic that we're talking about this week, obviously we're talking about Chris and his program, but then inspiration is really our idea and our topic this week. So on that notion, brother, tell us or even tell our fans or our listeners, what tip or advice would you have in regards to inspiration? How do they stay inspired? Where can they pull inspiration from? Either what have you done or what would you recommend? Let's start there.
No, inspiration's everywhere.
That's key too. I love
It's
that you
everywhere.
said that.
Oh, yeah.
Put most of the time you have to just put your phone down and look up. I mean,
That's
real.
a
Like,
gem.
You have to pay attention. The world is
Yeah.
beautiful. It really is. I know we're surrounded by a lot of evil, but it is a beautiful place. If you look around and find it, you got to find it though. And for me, inspiration can be, a piece of art that I saw. It can be the smell of the chimneys burning right around September, October.
Yeah.
When we get that change in weather and you smell it, that triggers a dish. It could be a sunset. It could be something I heard on the radio. It could be.
That's so crazy. You said that.
It could be anything.
So crazy. Me and this little nice young lady went out last night and we looked at the
You
moon.
and your baby, just say your baby, fool. Me and my baby.
like yeah. Okay, so me and my what up?
Me and my boo
Me and my little
thing.
boo. We went out last night. And we just looked at the sun. We looked at the moon. Like it's like little stuff.
It's inspiration.
Like, inspiration, like
Yeah.
little stuff. Going painting and stuff. Like
That's beautiful.
yeah,
I like that a lot.
There's a whole world that exists out of what we were raised in.
Oh yeah.
And that's something I think is extremely important is, you have to get outside of your comfort zone and get beyond that 6-block radius that you were raised in. Because the world is huge.
Oh yeah.
And as you get into the world and you get exposed
got
to
chills.
the beauty of the world and the things that you don't know. I like to say yes to a lot of things that I normally say no. They were like, you want to go ice fishing? Yep.
Yeah.
I was just telling
That was the
brother-
coldest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Different.
I went painting like to a painting set for the first time ever
Yeah.
the other day, and it was like it's something new. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't, it's when you getting out doing something new, and like it's actually fun and stuff. Like I want to try. I still got to go snowboarding, but I don't like the way you walking. I don't know. I don't like the way you walking and stuff. So I don't.
I went to
He's
the,
sunburnt.
I'm
Not
sun-
snow.
I'm sunburnt.
Oh, okay. I
fam.
thought you got that from snowboarding.
Nah, brother. I went to the beach and.
But I was walking like that after
I
snowboarding.
I remember
so.
you told me that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still got to do that.
Nah, snowboarding is great.
Yeah, I want to do it all, man.
So
to answer the question, Chris, I wanted to give you an opportunity to answer the question of the week, which is basically like, what would you say to somebody who is, looking for inspiration? What would you give them in terms of tips, for you?
I want to say, what has helped me out so far.
Because I like what you said, to try something new. That was cool.
Try something new, man. Like back home, like where I'm from, it's that's home. I'm never gonna disrespect home. That's home. I love it. But like we don't, Florida. We ain't got no snowboarding and all that stuff up there. That's something like I'm willing to try, man. You know what I'm saying? Like trying something new so you can go back and say, oh, I've done that before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like getting out and trying new stuff can help you, and like we were talking about earlier, just finding that person,
Yeah.
That person, I feel like everybody needs somebody to help them push forward, You can do it. You can do it yourself. But
I'm interested.
we all need somebody to vent to. And like, having that significant other can be, because I'm telling you, like when I get off of work, I call up and baby,
call boo boo,
baby, the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That person that we can go vent to and stuff. Yeah. It's about all that, man.
Brother, I felt like you had more to say. What other thoughts do you have?
No, I think this is the first of many. I'm stoked that we're officially cooking up here.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother element. Eventually we'll be making cocktails and serving wine up here as well.
Yep.
But this is going to be such a really cool element that everyone's going to get to watch unfold.
Yep.
They're going to get to see how this thing comes together, and then we're going to be bringing in guest chefs and guest artists, and it's just going to be a really cool experience. So I think this is kind of the turning point from building it and having the construction to actually like using it as it's supposed to be used. So I'm just excited for next week, and we're gonna keep this thing going. Stay tuned for all the cooking classes and all the events we're gonna be posting. That's all on the horizon. As soon as I get a chance to open my computer and stop swinging sledgehammers and fixing drains, that's
coming.
That's where we're going. So stay tuned, because I'm excited to share this with everyone.
Yeah, it is. I'm very excited, and I'm just gonna throw this because I always like to throw my 2 cents in. Inspiration this week, I think my tip would be is kind of a collaboration of everything that we talked about today. Because I was inspired by what brother said earlier, is when he went to go give out that popcorn, that he took more away from it than they did. And I think that giving, whether it's serving, whether it's your time, I find inspiration from doing those little things, personally. I think another couple things that I find inspiration from, I listen to like motivational speeches all the time. So I have like a playlist on my YouTube that I always go to for inspiration. And I figured out that what it is that I love about it, it's hope. Like it reconfirms, it's affirmations to me that there is hope, that if we do work towards the light, then things will pay off. So that's kind of what I lean towards inspiration. And then the last thing I'm going to just say is, I think kind of like what brother was saying was, helping someone else would inspire them tenfold. So like doing something for somebody, I think that goes a long way, and kind of comes back to that first one that I said. But just serving is inspiring, and I think even today, like I found inspiration through our talk here today, even with Chris saying some shit like that he's trying to settle down, and that's inspiring to me, man. I know it may not be true, but maybe Shorty is the one, you know what I'm saying? But I think that was it. I found inspiration in that, you know what I'm saying? And even today coming up here, just seeing this whole building just come to life was inspiring to me. Just seeing the food cook, like I don't know all the terminologies of the food and stuff, but just seeing it come together and collaborating with Chris and seeing the transformation of time has been inspiring for me. So I find inspiration from everywhere, and I just, my whole thing is about inspiring somebody else to achieve their goals and their dreams. That's my whole mission that I'm on, is helping one person, every day.
Oh, yeah.
So That's my notion. I was long-winded there, but thank y'all, man. This has been our longest podcast so far. Brother, what you got for us?
Nah, make sure I think we just need to make sure everybody knows where to follow us. So, you can follow me across the board at Chef Brother Luck, chefbrotherluck.com.
Amen.
And check out the website. It's 4 by Brother Luck, Lucky Dumpling, here in Colorado Springs. So, yeah, this is the beginning of something crazy and exciting.
This is the beginning. And I am Dana Keith, official Dana Keith on Instagram. Everywhere else you can find me at Dana Keith or official Dana Keith. I think on TikTok I'm official Dana Keith. But nonetheless, man, Dana Keith, that's me, father, filmmaker, creator, videographer, and I got a business called Dana Keith Film. I always forget to say that up here. Go ahead, Chris. What you got for us, baby?
Yo, just want to give a shout out to all my battle buddies, Carrillo. My boy having a baby today. He just hit me up. He about to have his baby right now. Shout out Carrillo. Congratulations, my dog Vaughn. Soren Slack, Soren Febre, and my homeboys over in North Carolina that's watching right now too. They should be watching it right now. So
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Shout out. Hey, Chris.
Shout out.
Good luck on your dinner tomorrow.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir.
I know you're doing that. Brother, thank you, man. I appreciate you as always. My co-host, Brother Luck. We call him Brother Luck on the podcast. And I'm Dana Keith. I believe that's pretty much our episode today. We're out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Peace. The man behind the hustle and grind. This is pride, courage, determination, and perseverance. Welcome to No Luck's Given.